I'm back. This is your girl Red coming to you with another video. And this video is about my insulin pump. I know a lot of people have been wanting me to do a video about this. So I'm going to do it. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. I have several more videos coming out. I put quite a few videos out a week. And so let's get started. So we're going to talk about my insulin pumps and diabetes in this video. So if you or anyone you know is a diabetic or has diabetes, whether it's type 1, type 2, gestational diabetes. I don't know much about gestational diabetes. That's when you get diabetes when you're pregnant. I don't have kids, so don't know much about that type of diabetes. But so if you know anyone that is interested in insulin pumps or is on insulin or anything, you need to watch this video, or you need to tell them to watch this video with you. Share this video. This will be very, very informative. I cannot talk today. So let's get started. Okay. I have two different types of insulin pumps here. This is my newest one. This is actually my third one. This is my second one. This one is not on, but we're going to get started. I don't use this one anymore. This is my very first type of insulin pump. When I say this is my second one, the first one I had was just like this one. It was just a different color. It was pink, and this one is purple. This is just older. This is like a very old one. And these are both Medtronic insulin pumps. They come from Medtronics, okay? That's the only type of pumps I've had is if you can see the name. I can't focus right. Okay. Medtronic insulin pump. And so yeah. So this one is not on, but that's the older one. This is my newer one. As you can see, my sugar right now is 95, okay? This long tube right here, I'm not going to show you my stomach part, but this tube right here is what the insulin goes through, okay? And right here, when I push this button and do this, I'll put how many carbs I've had, or I can put my blood sugar in. I test my blood sugar. It'll tell me how many units of insulin that I need. But basically, all through the day, this right here is the scale of my insulin, and means mine is like steady. So 95 is my average, throughout the day, meaning it's been, okay or whatever. This insulin pump is my lifeline. Without this thing, I am pretty much lost, okay? First of all, let me say, I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory. I became diabetic very young. I was a juvenile diabetic. I became a diabetic at the age of, when I found out, I was like 15 or 16. And so I was very young, okay? So I started off on nothing. I just started off like pre-diabetic. Then I started off where I needed to just check my sugar and watch my sugar. Then when I got to like 21, I got on a pill. And then as I got older, I started on insulin, and I was taking the shots. Okay. And then like a few years ago, I've had an insulin pump now for maybe five years now, okay? And this is the best thing that has ever happened to me. There is downsides. The only downside of this is the alerts. Okay, sometimes the alerts can bug the heck out of you, because there's an alert for when your sugar is too low. There's an alert for when your sugar is too high. Now, you can turn these alerts off, but I would not do that if I was you. And then there's an alert for when you need to check your sugar. There's an alert for when you need to change your battery. Like, there's a battery thing on here. And then there's the battery when you need to change your sensor. Like, I mean, there's an alert for pretty much everything, okay? So that's the only thing. When you're sleeping at night and you get alerts, that's the one thing that will bug you, okay? So now we're going to talk about what comes with it. Once a month, you will get a full box of supplies. Now, your insurance will pay for these supplies, okay? Assuming what insurance you have, and I guess what state you're in. When it comes to me, my insurance pays for all this, okay? It even paid for my pump and everything, okay? And I get a new pump every 5 years, unless something is wrong with it, and then it will replace my pump, okay? But you get an upgrade every 5 years. And then as far as the sensor, I think you get it. I just recently got a new sensor. And I will show you, let me show you what the sensor looks like, actually. I have, I think I have right now three. They all look the same, okay? But let me show you what I mean by sensor. So, I keep all my stuff in here. This is what the little insulin valves look like. They go, well, that's the old one. Let's get that out the way. What the insulin valves look like that go through the insulin pump. Right here. You put your insulin in here. Okay. And it just screws in. Battery goes on the other side. So this is what they look like. Okay. This is what you put your sensor in to shoot it into your stomach. This thing right here. I know I'm all over the place. Okay, right now we're just going to speak about the sensor. This is a sensor, okay? This is what the sensor is. This is what alerts you about things. This what lets you know what your sugar is. This what tells you what your sugar is, okay? This is what they look like. Right here. That little piece goes into this right here. And this right here goes into your stomach. Now, all this won't go in there. You'll pull this part off, okay, once you get it in. And then you'll see it light up. There'll be a little green light. This thing right here lights up, okay? There'll be a little light on it, okay? So, you'll see that. And this right here is the charger. You charge this up. Like, it goes literally just like in here. See? This is the charger right here. So, it's really easy. So, it just tells you, what your sugar is. You can put it on your arm. Some people put it on their leg. Now, for me, it hurts in the leg, so I don't put mine in my legs. I do put it on your arm, but if you put it in your arm after a while, for me, because you keep them on there for, some of them have it where 4 days and some have 6 days on them. So, depending on what type of pump you have and what type of sensor you have, some even have where you can keep them on longer than that. So, It really just depends. And now we're going to talk about the insulin part. And like I said, this part right here is what this is. You'll pull this out. You'll screw the insulin into this. And it just goes, you know, in. That's what the insulin goes in. And you'll get, I'm going to show you my information. You'll get, I take Admalog insulin. Now the insulin that you take depends on your doctor. Okay. So that's that. And all my insulin comes from CVS pharmacy. Okay. And it is delivered in the mail also. But my supplies, my pump supplies come from Edwards Healthcare. So with I'm pretty sure all that depends on your insurance. So I really can't say. So I'm thinking it depends on your state and your insurance. I live in Kentucky, so I don't know about anyone else. So you'll get these. These right here. I'm just going to tell you what all comes with the insulin pump supplies. This is Skin Tech wipes. You'll wipe this on before you stick these onto your stomach. This is how you stick it on there. Okay, this is called Mini Med Surety. This is how the insulin flows. This is the tube that the insulin flows through. And this is what stick on your stomach. So you'll open these and wipe your stomach down with this. First, I wipe alcohol. And then I wipe my stomach down with these. So these will stick. Because they have to be able to stick. And this part right here. This part right here is the part that has the needle in it, okay? This part has the needle. So, it has to be able to stick into your stomach in order for it to, the insulin to get to inside your stomach, okay? If not, they will leak. They do have a tendency to leak. So, it has to be in there. So, these are called 360 wipes. I'm sorry, not wipes. But these are just like, you know, when you go to the hospital or to the doctor and you get an IV and they put those little sticky pads over your IV. That's what these are. These go over your, and then this is the same thing. These are in that little box, the Mini Med Surety. They'll throw some extra stuff in here, throw it out that's not in the box. And this is what they look like out of the box. This is just what they look like right there. And it just tells you the information on it. And these right here are those things that you put your insulin in. These are the insulin valves. They're called reservoirs, actually. I call them insulin valves, but they're called reservoirs. And they throw extra of these in there as well. I guess they don't have enough to, don't make a full box, so they just throw stuff in here. I don't like that, but they do it, so, oh well. And then they put alcohol pads in here. They actually never put enough, but they do put, it's like 2 packs, 2 Ziploc bags full. So I always go and buy an extra box at Walmart anyway, or order an extra box. So, that's all that they put in here. And then in my bag, I keep all that stuff in bags. I make sure that I keep this insulin in the refrigerator, actually. I put that in the refrigerator. Good. And, yeah, so I just keep stuff in here. There's a top and a bottom to my bag. In case I ever have to go to the hospital or anything like that. You always have to have a bag, because let me tell you something. I don't know about any other hospital, but the hospitals around here are definitely not trained on insulin pumps. So you have to take your own supplies. I will tell you that now. They do not have insulin pump supplies. They don't have insulin pump supplies at all. And then sometimes the stuff that they check your sugar with, they will only check your sugar like twice a day or 2 or 3 times a day if you have to go to the hospital or something. So I always take my own stuff, and I like the way all my own stuff is set up. Okay, so I have my meter and my lancets and my alcohol pads and my hand sanitizer, and I usually keep a bottle of lotion in here as well. And then I have my strips and like all my stuff. If I can get it back in here. Like all my own stuff in here. And I'm like, I have to stay organized. I love to stay organized, so I keep my own stuff. And then last thing I have these ketone strips. Because sometimes when you're diabetic and you have too much sugar in your urine, your ketone levels go up. And you have to flush it out with... most of the time, you just drink water and watch your sugar and make sure your sugar levels stay normal. But I try to check my ketones here and there. It's not, you don't do this every day, you know. Your ketones don't stay up, like, unless you just eating a ton of sugar every day. But they shouldn't be, like, abnormal every time. But it is good to have these on hand just to check every now and then to be sure. So, if anybody has any questions or would like to know more about diabetes, I have type 1 diabetes since I was a juvenile diabetic. If anybody would like to know about Medtronic insulin pump supplies or about diabetes or how to get an insulin pump or anything, about insulin pumps, about checking sugar, about how to get a glucose meter, about how the insurance will pay for it. I mean, anything. I'm not a pro on this stuff, but I have helped other people, and I'm pretty common with a lot of this stuff since I've been a diabetic for so long. So, so just hit me up, you know. Like I said, please subscribe to my channel. I have more videos like this coming. So feel free to email me. You can message me on Facebook. Leave a comment down below. You can ask me any question about any of this stuff. I will be glad to help you out, anybody out, answer any questions. And I know it's hard when some people don't have insurance or stuff like that. I have tons of supplies. I always keep extra supplies. I don't know anybody personally, like close to me that has an insulin pump. I'm sorry. But I do know other diabetics. And if anybody needs anything or needs help, please reach out to me and message me. And I will be glad to help. If I don't have what you need on hand, I will do everything I can to try and help you, because I know other people and I know some organizations that can help you, depending on what state you're in now. But there are national, regional, a lot of places that will help people these days. A lot more than there used to be. Because back in the day, it used to be hard to find help. But now it's easier, I'm going to say, to find help than what it used to be. So just reach out to me if you need any help with anything. Thank you.